All right, we are live. Hello, I can't even speak. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics, and I got some breaking news that I want to report that just came out about less than 15 minutes ago, and I've been telling people for the past 3 or 4 years to buy these two books, and if you haven't gotten them, you better get them quick, because if this news ends up being confirmed, and I'm not going to guarantee anything confirmed until it happens, because even if they say something's going to get done, it can change. But if this ends up being something that happens, this book is going to double overnight, and it's going to continue to skyrocket and be out of reach. According to the Cosmic Wonder, who is somebody I'm subscribed to, they are saying that Hugh Jackman will be reprising his role, although briefly. That doesn't mean it cannot continue, who knows. But Hugh Jackman will be coming into the MCU with Wolverine, with Deadpool, in the Doctor Strange 2 MCU film. That, to me, is going to guarantee, if it happens, the price of Hulk 180, Hulk 181, and to a very lesser extent, Hulk 182, to increase dramatically in value. So, this is something that I've tried to explain to people for a very long time. When it comes to investing, sometimes you have to play the waiting game. But if you have the opportunity to buy a book and you don't do it because you haven't heard any news and you see the price staying stagnant or even going down for a little bit, when you know it's inevitable, you're going to miss out on an opportunity that many people will never see again. When it comes to things like the Fantastic Four, X-Men, Wolverine, Deadpool, the fact that they're all going to be debuting into the MCU is going to be a big deal. This is an opportunity for people to invest in comics and almost guarantee profits, depending, of course, on how much you spend on them, that we'll never see probably again in our lifetime. And that's why, if you watch my videos, you'll see I have 5 to 10 of Fantastic Four 48 and 49, probably more. Several copies, like I think at least 5 copies of Hulk 181, probably 7 to 10 copies of Hulk 180. I'm not a rich person. If you watch my videos, you'll see I got most of them pretty cheap or when I made a little money. Even if you can get a 0.5 of these books, I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting them. Because even if this rumor, and they say they have documents to back it up, but of course, like I said, they can say something's going to happen and they cut it out of a movie. So anything can change. That's why I'm not guaranteeing it. But even if Hugh Jackman's Wolverine does not show up like they're saying, and they change their mind, or the actor ends up changing his mind, or whatever, that doesn't mean Wolverine is not going to show up in the MCU. And once they have confirmation of things, what is it going to do? It's going to create a buzz. What is that going to do? Get the average person who's not really into comics, or is kind of into comics, into those first appearances, which what do you think is going to do to the price of the books? The problem with people in any community, especially on YouTube, is you start to listen to nothing but comic book collectors or whatever you're investing in, so you end up in this little bubble and you assume that everybody thinks the same way you do. Most of the world are not comic book collectors like we may be. And they're not going to be in the know of this information, and they're not going to think about, oh, I need to get Hulk 180 and Hulk 181. But when they see the movies and the previews and the speculations and the trailers, it creates a fascination and creates a buzz, and it gets more people investing. And what are they going to look for? They're going to look for the most expensive comics they can afford. So if you do not have Hulk 180 or Hulk 181 at this point, if you do not have Fantastic Four 48 and 49, to a lesser extent Silver Surfer #1, if you do not have key X-Men books like Giant Size X-Men #1, even in low grade, you are going to miss out. Because even if you can only afford a 0.5 of Hulk 181, let's say that's about $500 now. Once they start confirming things, once they start the previews, once they start seeing him in the movies, in my opinion, that $500 book will become a $1,000 book. Maybe even more. Of course, I cannot guarantee that. But if I was a betting man, and if you were a betting man or woman, do you believe the price will go up, go down, or stay the same? Now, of course, if you spend $1,000 on a $500 book, you're going to lose money. That's why I always tell people, make sure you do your research. And again, I will say many times, you have to have patience when it comes to investing in speculation. Not every investment you have is going to make you millions overnight. Some will never. Many will even fail. But that's why, for example, I've been telling people to get books like Marvel Spotlight 32, Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, Ultimate Fallout 4, for years. And nobody cared about them, or most people didn't care about them, but now they do. When I was buying those books, I was buying Edge of Spider-Verse number 2 books. I have at least 5 to 7 copies. I spent no more than $45 on one. The average was $28. My Ultimate Fallout 4s, I gave a bunch away, but I still have about 6 copies. I spent no more than $12 or $14 on them. The idea is sometimes you have to trust your instincts, you have to research, you have to know where people are headed. And I knew with Hollywood, all of a sudden, since 2016, getting into female characters and minority characters, that these characters that were up and coming would eventually see their light of day in the MCU or in TV shows. And that's exactly what's happening now. So sometimes you have to sit on things and wait for a while before you get the results that you look for. But I would rather spend $14 on a comic, and now it'd be worth $300 to $500, and wait 4 years to get there, than to wait 4 years for it to get there and then spend the $300 to $400 on the book. Most people do things backwards when it comes to investing. It tends to be popular for some reason, and most people will join in on the bandwagon on something. But I've been trying to teach my subscribers to get things before. Now, there are risks involved with that, because if you buy something before there is any announcements, they could never happen. They might not be good. Things can change. But if you're buying something at $14 and it doesn't work out, it's much better than spending $500 on a book and it going nowhere further than that because you bought it at its peak. Now, of course, I'm not talking about people who buy comics to read them. Obviously, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get an original Hulk 181. There are many numerous reprints that you can buy for $1 and read the book. So you don't actually have to have the book itself to be able to enjoy it for the readability. And I always laugh at the argument of those that say, oh, it's speculators like many people, because obviously I'm not the only speculator in the world. There would be no such thing as stocks if there were no speculators in the world, so we need to keep it real. But if they were only people that were getting books because they love to read them, then their argument of it's speculators like us that are raising the prices of books and making them unaffordable, and they can't read them, is absolutely a ridiculous argument when you could get the True Believers reprints for $1. Those people, in my opinion, are mad that they missed the boat by their own choice, and now the prices became out of reach. I mean, good luck trying to get a 1930s Ford car for the asking price of $200 when it came out. Over time, things become more valuable, and the rarer they are, and the more desirable they are, the more the prices go up. This is just something that is not new or limited to comics. So if you miss out, are you paying attention? Are you doing your research? Are you listening to the wrong people? Do people not realize that things over time that are desirable become more valuable, especially if they become more limited? So there are people that can cry about stuff all the time, or be the ones that jump on the boat before those things become popular. You have to think differently if you want to succeed. So again, if you can only afford a Hulk 180 at a 0.5, low grade is better than no grade, and you will still own it. I understand there are people that only want high grades, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if that is beyond your reach, and you could never possess it, then what is the benefit of that? Go with what you can afford. Do not sell your house to take a chance on anything when it comes to investments or speculations. Because if you lose, then you lose everything. Be smart. Do your research, and you have to be patient. I'm sitting on a lot of books that I could easily sell right now, but I've made that mistake. I was silly enough to sell my Edge of Spider-Verse 2 1 in 25 variant. Now, I only spent $96 for it and sold it for about $1,200, but that book now is about a $6,000 book. Think for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Don't always go by what the popular or the group think tells you to live. That's what the world is going through right now. And I've said it before and I've said it again. For thousands of years, well, we can't even say thousands. Let's just say hundreds of years. The world was convinced the world was flat. So what the heck do the masses know? If you follow along with somebody just because it feels safer and you don't truly believe in it, then you're not really standing up for your convictions. And that's why a lot of times my channel is hated on. Because I don't follow groupthink. I don't say what is popular. I say what I feel is truth. Now, that doesn't mean it's yours. So if you think it's a waste of money for a Hulk 180, 181, Fantastic Four 48 and 49, Silver Surfer #1, Deadpool, New Mutants 98, that's fine. I make no money off of you. But I am here to help more than myself. And there are many people that I know over the years that I've helped by giving information out. And I don't ask for anything in return. So be careful who you hitch your wagon to. If you're just hitching it to a safe groupthink mentality, so this way you won't get teased or argued against, then are you really standing for what you believe in, or are you just following the herd because it's quote-unquote safer? And that is going to be something that will hurt you more than it will help you. Stand for yourself, make up your own decisions, but do your own research, put in the effort. Make sure if you're going to invest in something, you know what you're doing. I don't get every comic right, but if you look at my history, and I have all my videos up, and you can check them if you feel the time, look at all the books over the years that I've recommended. Many of them have dramatically increased in value since I've recommended them over the years, because I know where things are headed. It doesn't guarantee I get them all right. Any person that tells you they're right 100% of the time is lying and is definitely trying to sell you something. But if you look at the track record, if you're successful more than you're unsuccessful, that's the wagon you want to hitch to. But again, if you don't do your own research, if you don't trust your own instincts, if you don't sometimes go against the grain, you will end up losing then too. You get what you give. I give my advice because I care about people. I want to help people, especially in these times when life is challenging. You don't have to listen. You don't have to agree. And heck, you don't even have to like me. It's been proven that there are people who do not like me, and that's perfectly fine. You're right to have that opinion. But judge me based on my actions that I've presented, not because you don't like the way I talk about things. And if you can do that with an open mind, and you can think for yourself, and you put in the effort, and you can put in the research, then videos like this of me telling you things to get are not necessary, because you will have already done it. And I'm trying to get people to think in a different way. This world is all about groupthink. That's a very dangerous way to live your life, based on what other people tell you that you should think. And that's in life and investments and in everything in general. And that's why my channel can be quote-unquote controversial, because I talk about more than just comics. Because if you apply this to comics, you can apply it to life, and vice versa. So time is running out. Movies are going to start coming out soon. More and more of these rumors are starting to come out, and soon some of them will or will not be confirmed. That is going to create the buzz that everybody has been waiting for, and then a book that was $500 one day, the next day is now going to be $7, $8, $9, $1,000, And you're going to sit there regretting your decision. I get comments all the time of people that said, oh, I should have listened to you, and now it's too late. Well, it's technically never too late unless you're buying at the absolute peak. Considering none of these movies are out yet, and there's no trailers and nothing but rumors right now, you still have a stay of execution. What you do with that is up to you, because whether you buy a book or do not buy a book, it helps me in no way. I do not benefit from your profit of your selling of your comic based on my information. So I have nothing to gain. And yes, I tell people to join the cashback program, but it's not mandatory. It's not something you have to do. It's not like I won't give you the information if you don't sign up. It's just a way for me to make money when I've been unemployed since March. Because if somebody clicks on it and they spend $30 or more, they get $30 bonus cash back, and I get a one-time referral fee for it. I think I'm entitled to that, but it's not a requirement. You don't. I have a Patreon, which I hardly ever talk about, and I think I may have 3, maybe 4 Patreon members, but there is nothing there that you have to join to get exclusively, because I hand it out freely. Whether that makes me popular or unpopular, I leave that for the people to decide. But I want to thank the 24 people that took the time to listen to this video. And you could listen to my advice, you could not listen to my advice. You could think I'm crazy, you could think I'm stupid, you could think what? You think I'm the most brilliant person you've ever met. And if you think that, I would question you. But listen to my words and see through my past experiences of the things I've talked about. If I am anything, I am consistent. And that's what happens when you stand for your beliefs and you don't just follow the local trend of what's popular or what's in or what's trending. Then you have no ideals to stand for. And some people will hate me because I have those books. But I bought them years ago, and I told people to buy them when they're cheap. That's when you buy them. And then they become valuable. You know, I was lucky enough when I was in New York and was selling my massage gift certificates and sold them by packages because I had my own business and put in the effort and advertised, that every now and then somebody would buy one of the bigger massage packages where they would buy groups of the sessions in advance, and I would make $2,000 or $3,000. It wouldn't happen very often, but when it did, I would turn around and buy one expensive comic. And that's why, for example, back in 2017, right before I shut down my original channel, I bought an X-Men #1 CGC 3.0. I spent $2,000. I think it was $2,050 at a 3.0. That book right now, if you go on Gocollectcom, is almost $7,000 now. And they haven't even put any trailers out for, or even confirmed the X-Men movies yet. Which means it's going to continue to go up. So that book may at one point become a $15,000, $20,000 book. Which at that time may seem amazing, but I only spent $2,000. And there are plenty of people that bought them the day it came out. I should have bought it years ago. Hindsight is always 20/20. But you go within your means, and you go within the times that you are. It doesn't matter that that book could have been bought for 10 cents in the 1960s. Because we're not in the 1960s, and you cannot get that book for 10 cents. And if you can get it, God bless you. So you go with what's now. If you think a 3.0 at $6,000, $7,000 is expensive now, wait 5 years from now. I made the mistake of, because I have 2 of the Ultimate Fallout 4 1 in 25 variants. I paid under $100 for each of them. One of them signed. And I knew those books were going to get more expensive. And I saw one at a 9.8 about a year or 2 ago for $1,000. And I passed it up because I thought, wow, $1,000 for that book? That's pretty expensive. I fell into that trap. Well, that book now is $8,000. You don't think right now anybody would they'd pull out their credit cards in an instant if they could buy Ultimate Fallout 4 1 in 25 variant for CGC 9.8 at $1,000? You have to think the bigger picture. So, as usual, I will go into rants. I will go into longer amounts of information that may be a little bit indirect of what I originally planned this video for. But I think that's why the very few that watch my videos, that like my videos, actually appreciate my videos. Because my goal is not to brag, is not to just say whatever's popular. and go with the conformity of the masses. It's to help. And if we had more people in this world that did that, we'd have a much better place. And the only thing I ask is, even if you disagree, disagree with respect. If you're going to be nasty, you will not be welcome on my channel. If you're going to make assumptions and be cruel, you're not going to be welcome on my channel. That doesn't mean you can't disagree. I want to send much love to everybody out there in these times where there's so much division and so much hatred and so many people that will hate people because they think differently. I welcome free speech. I welcome opportunities and disagreements where I could learn something from the argument. A debate. Whether you collect comics for investment, for the art, for the reading of it, or just for pure profit, you have the right to do so. Don't let anybody else make you think differently or feel ashamed because you don't do something that they do or what the masses do. As long as you're not stealing from somebody else. As long as you're not beating somebody up or cursing them out because they think in a different way, you are entitled to do what you want for yourself with your money that you worked hard to get. Even if you didn't work hard for your money, even if you had rich family members and they just happened to love you so much they gave you millions of dollars, you are entitled to use it any way you want. And to heck with anybody else who doesn't like it. So, since I'm getting preachy, I'm going to end this video. I want to thank the 31 people that liked this video. 35. I want to thank the 59 people that watched. I want to thank all of the people that took the time to comment. And with that, I am going to do today's surprise subscriber shout out. So if you are in this or any live chat and you leave a comment and I call you out for the surprise subscriber shout out, which by the way, you don't even have to be a subscriber to, the benefit of that is if you have a YouTube channel, I will allow you to post a link to your channel or to one of your videos, which I will verify to make sure it's appropriate, and allow it to be placed in the comment section for all to see. Which means I'm helping another channel benefit without asking for anything in return other than somebody leaving a comment. You don't even have to hit the like button if you don't want to. And also, if you become one of my moderators and you moderate the live chat that I'm speaking in, you can also place the link to your video or your channel. And to become a moderator, all you have to do is comment often on my channel. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but if you disagree, do it respectfully. Do it in a way that I can learn something from. Correct me in a polite way. Do unto others as you wish do unto you. And if I notice you after a while, I will reward you with becoming a moderator and allowing you to post your link on the video if you take the time to moderate one of my videos and do a nice job of moderating. I mean, if you're blocking people just to block people, you will no longer be a moderator. And I haven't had to do that. So people like Connie, for example, one of my moderators, and you can see her name is in blue with the little wrench. She's one of the moderators. People earn it. And that's the thing in this world. You do something nice enough, you get rewarded for it. Now, are you winning the lottery coming to my channel? No. But if that little thing means something to you as my way of saying thank you for being a part of my channel, then I'm glad you're here. So today's surprise subscriber shout out is going to Oliver Ortiz and Tandan619. I'm doing a dual one today. So Oliver and Tandan, if you guys or gals have a YouTube channel and you would like to post the link to it in the comment section, as long as it's appropriate for my viewers to watch, it will be approved. And anybody that goes to my comment section, and I encourage everybody to do it and leave a comment, if they see those links, go check them out. Because if you see the link, it means it's been approved. And that means it's appropriate. Go help other channels grow. I'm not all about my channel. That's why I called this channel We Love Comics. Because I want it to be a place where people can go and listen to others for their enjoyment of comics, no matter how they do it. So I hope you guys will get Hulk 180, Hulk 181. Somebody across the street just threw something. That's what that loud noise is. I don't know if you heard it. Get your Fantastic Four 48s and 49s. get your New Mutants 98s, even though New Mutants 98 goes up and down all the time. Wait until all of a sudden things are confirmed, and you will see the prices go up again, in my opinion. And remember, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. You don't have to like it. Thanks for listening. Give our shoutouts a shout out. And don't remember, well, do not forget, it is not you. You can not remember if you want, but it is not you. It is not I. It is we love comics. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.